According to a new survey by the Women's Vote Project, women would be more likely to vote if they could send in ballots by mail or if polls were open longer. Also, more women would vote if you were permitted to bake your vote. They like to bake.
Hey, for the 9th consecutive year, Nick, JetBlue Airlines ranked first for satisfaction among all North American airlines. But you know what ranked least in satisfaction? 9/11 Airlines. What a terrible name for an airline. It reminds me of that tragedy. Oh, 9/11. Yeah, don't laugh at 9/11 again.
PLO leader Yasser Arafat announced this week that his wife is pregnant. The happy couple said they really don't care if the child is a boy or a girl, just as long as it hates Jews.
Male authors are obsessed. This is what, you know, going back to I don't know, Updike and Hemingway, male authors have been, you know, anyways, male authors do tend to be obsessed with female bodies. Male authors obsessed with female bodies. Going on about webbed feet and soft insulated. I'm sorry, that's male otters. No.
Know why people are gay? You don't know. Do you know why you're heterosexual? You don't know why.
No, I don't know. Wow.
Maybe the abnormal gene would be hetero.
That's true. Hey, maybe the normal gene would be those ladies
that normal to be gay.
That cut their cocks into vaginas.
No, if you're looking to make it in standard television, you're not going the right route.
No.
You're not going the right route.
Once I get on Hulu.
You're not sending this tape to CBS, are you?
No, once I get on Hulu, the whole act changes. The president of ESPN says he quit the network because he was being extorted over his cocaine use. Cocaine also explains why fuck it. Dressed up.
Yeah, they told me to dress up for Comedy Week.
Explain to the folks what Comedy Week is. You fucking retard. No, can you explain?
Not really.
This weekend, veteran news anchorman David Brinkley apologized to Bill Clinton for an election night commentary in which he called the president, quote, boring and uncreative. Admitted Brinkley, there was certainly nothing uncreative about the way you moved Vince Foster's body. The president's a murderer. You didn't know that? Well, according to a new Entertainment Weekly poll, 72% of their readers say they would not be offended if a TV show lead character were gay. Though that figure shrinks to 1% when these same readers are reminded that being gay can involve anal sex.
You know that you are a cis male? Have you ever heard of that term?
A cis male?
Cis male. C-Y-S-M-A-L-E. So what it means is that you are a man. You're born a man.
Well, as far as you know.
As far as I know. And you identify yourself as a man.
Yes.
That's a cis male.
No, I don't understand. Where does that... Is this a new phrase?
Yes, it's a way of marginalizing a normal person. Say this first. I am a gifted but self-taught composer.
Why don't you just wipe your mouth a little? Making me fucking sick.
Chevy.
In publishing news, Magic Johnson has received a $5 million advance from Random House for his new book entitled What You Can Do to Avoid AIDS. Chapter 1, Don't Have Sex with Me.
This joke, call me an old softy, but I'd prefer if you called me a distinguished gentleman with a flagging erection.
In South Dakota, inmates at the state penitentiary say that a new policy which allows officials to read their mail is an example of the routine violations of individual rights in prison. A better example would be the daily anal rapes, but I guess they want to start off small and then work up to the daily anal rapes. You know, they'll start off with the reading their mail, you know.
A Florida University student was caught streaking on campus and apparently told police he was on acid and asked them to cut his dick off. Boy, these kids today are crazy. In my day, we didn't need drugs. We would just cut our own dicks off.
Yeah, he didn't need no fucking acid and shit. Adam Egret, who is, by the way, I'll just remind you, he's over here. That's him. Yeah. It's a joke, an Adam Egret joke.
How do you say the name?
Adam Egret.
Egret. Spelt differently.
Like the bird.
That's Egret. Do you know what Adam Egret has in common with a guitar player?
Adam Egret has in common with a guitar player. No, I don't know.
They both love fingering minors.
Now, okay, come on now. Come on now. By the way, I've noticed the term adult toy always refers to something you can shove up your asshole and never like a big race car, like for a grown-up.
Another good observation.
Yeah.
And finally, due to a change in policy, Amtrak employees will no longer be able to kick homeless people out of Penn Station based on the way they look. From now on, they will have to go solely on urine stench.
Barbara Walters is planning to announce her retirement. What's next for Babs? Death.
The old NORM MACDONALD is back.
A new study found that men with beards are more attractive than men without beards. More great work from the University of Bob Seger.
A bird in the hand is a good way to get bird flu, you fucking asshole. Get away from me, go wash your fucking hand.
You know, I grew up poor, man. My mom used to cut my hair with a bowl. Did you ever see where they used to do that?
Yeah.
Which was bad enough, but then came dinner, and it was, she served a bowl of hair. That was him. Wow. I know the Bible says not to covet thy neighbor's wife.
Right.
But it doesn't say a damn thing about coveting thy neighbor's husband, especially a sweet, hot fucking asshole.
This is sweet hot. Is that in there?
Only things certain in life are death, taxes, and getting caught whacking off in a Target dressing room.
Are these your tips?
I learned that the hard way. A new report from the CDC states that only 1/3 of Americans use condoms, while 2/3 of Americans are still pretty cool.
Get out! Why do you get a good one?
In Falls City, Nebraska, John Lauder has been sentenced to death for attempting to kill 3 people in what prosecutors called a plot to silence a cross-dressing female who had accused him of rape. Now, this might strike some viewers as harsh, but I believe everyone involved in this story should die.
Rip all these from
When
Steve
I
Allen's
die, I want to be cremated, and my ashes spread eagle and fucked hard, like a fucking real tramp. Wow, come on, man. Why did they make me say that?
Wow.
I wonder who's going to win this case. The mother of the 2 children, or the guy who had his penis twisted into a fake vagina. It's a tough call. You got the guy who fashioned a vagina-like thing, and then you got the mother.
This one's more like a factoid.
Danny DeVito looks like one of those guys with a short but thick penis.
I realized in therapy, Carl, that I'm not afraid of dying. I'm afraid of living. Oh, no, I'm afraid of dying. Organist Ray Manzarek died this week at the age of 74. The Curse of the Doors.
Bad news for e-cigarette users. You look fucking stupid.
I like this. I like the theme that this one has. A man in Taiwan reportedly cut off his own penis to win an argument with his wife. That reminds me of that episode of Everybody Loves Raymond, where Raymond forgot Deborah's birthday and had to cut his own cock off.
I don't want fancy things or fancy schmancy things. I don't even want fancy schmancy wancy things or fancy schmancy take a trip to Francie things. What I want is wasting your time and mine.
You're an infant.
Okay.
You can read that.
I don't fat shame women because you can't judge a book by its cover. Of course, it's too damn thick. Nobody's going to read it.
Strangely, the word Bell is in the inventor of the telephone's name, Alexander Graham Bell. Similar to the inventor of the fax machine's name, Benedict Thomas Gajing 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 Plot.
A celebrated fertility statue, which many believe has the power to make women pregnant, began a nationwide tour this week. The hundreds of women who claim it caused their pregnancies are of different ages, races, and religions. But they all have one thing in common. They are all dirty, dirty whores. Well, the Learning Annex in New York is offering a new course to teach women how to smoke cigars. The fee to enroll in the class is $100. The fee to watch the class is $200. Well, Jocelyn Elder's new book, Jocelyn Elder's MD, came out this week. I read it.
Hey, George Clooney may be a dapper fellow, dude. Don't forget, he whacks off just like the rest of us. I wonder if he does. I don't even know if that's true. But let's face it, Kevin. No one's ever going to say, that guy is hung like a giraffe. Unless his cock is yellow and has brown spots on it. In which case, who cares how big his fucking cock is? He has weeks to live.
Now, I ain't saying she's a gold digger.
You're not saying she's a gold digger.
But she does have several shovels, picks, and panning sluices strapped to her burrow.
Oh, well. Oh, how about this? College freshman Scott Damerow, Larry, set a new world record by using his head to bust 142 eggs, and he now officially holds a place in the Guinness Book of fucking retards. Dance like no one is watching, sing like no one is listening, love like you've never been hurt, and fuck like a goddamn retard.
I saw the word retard.
The Al-Qaeda online magazine Inspire has a recipe for a homemade bomb. They also have a recipe for a pretty darn good peach cobbler.
So they're not all bad, you know?
And now it's time for Weekend Update's movie reviews. This week I saw Interview with the Vampire. And here's my review. Not gay enough.
This year's most popular iPhone game is Clash of the Clans.
Clash of the Clan, the most popular iPhone game.
The least popular iPhone game, Cut My Cock Off.
Oh, my Lord. That's what you chose as the final joke?
You chose it!
Wednesday, NASA launched the Space Shuttle Columbia on its 87th voyage. This trip by the shuttle will feature the first spacewalk ever by a Japanese astronaut, who will get to take in the unique perspective of Earth from space. Gee, I wonder if there's any chance he'll take a picture.
One of the most popular documentaries on Netflix is Jiro
Dreams of Sushi?
Jiro Dreams of Sushi.
I've seen that. It's very good.
That's a fantastic documentary. One of the least popular documentaries, Jiro Nightmares of Asteroids.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
Well, Jocelyn Elder's new book, Jocelyn Elder's MD, came out this week. I read it.
Your favorite religious movie?
I loved Passion of the Christ.
Did you?
Although I will say I thought it was very anti-Semitic, because every Jew looked like fucking Lovitz. You know what I mean? They're all like, hook noses and stuff. So I could see the anti-Semitism. But what I liked was the incredible violence But you know what's strange?
Did they ask them, did you kill Jesus? No. Your favorite religious movie?
I loved Passion of the Christ.
Did you?
Although I will say I thought it was very anti-Semitic because every Jew looked like fucking Lovitz. You know what I mean? They were all like, hook noses and stuff. So I could see the anti-Semitism. But what I liked was the incredible violence. But you know what's strange?
Did they ask them, did you kill Jesus? No.
Well, listen, this Catherine Zeta-Jones admitted she is bipolar half the time. She's deliriously happy, and the other time she has to suck an old man's cock. That's dirty. Come on, man.
Native Americans in upstate New York are trying to block plans to build a Kmart on the site of a Mohican burial ground. In addition, they were upset to learn that sales at this particular Kmart will be announced, "Attention Kmart savages." With just 2 games left before the playoffs, Kobe Bryant received a technical foul and uttered this phrase after returning to the bench. Now hold on, in Kobe's defense, he was referring to Thai referee Pho Kang Phigat. Pho Kang Phigat. Thailand's most famous referee.
To me, perfect sex is like a car wash. You start by lining up right and going in slow, and you finish when 3 Mexican dudes run up and furiously towel you off.
Meanwhile, Furman, who was expected to face disciplinary action by the LAPD, may get off lightly. Under the terms of a controversial plea bargain, the charges against him have been reduced to, quote, 1 count of using the word darky.
A new study shows that most men can identify a gay man by his face alone. It's the face that's buried in another man's asshole.
Pain and Gain, the new movie directed by Michael Bay. Reviewers are calling it everything from shit to fucking shit.
While in the hospital, Michael Jackson had his room specially decorated with 2 huge photos of Shirley Temple. But don't get the wrong idea here. Michael Jackson is a homosexual pedophile.
Here's a very, what do you call it? When a joke is just ripped from today's headlines.
We have to explain how the joke is.
Topical.
After being drafted in the 7th round by the Rams, Michael Sam kissed his boyfriend. The celebration didn't end there because on ESPN2 there was full insertion. This is a joke.
That's kind of, yeah, these are jokes on these cards.
Oh, okay.
Explain them.
Here's a very, what do you call it? When a joke is just ripped from today's headlines.
We have to explain how the joke is.
Topical.
After being drafted in the 7th round by the Rams, Michael Sam kissed his boyfriend. The celebration didn't end there because on ESPN2 there was full insertion. This is a joke.
That's kind of, yeah, these are jokes on these cards.
Oh, okay.
Explain them. Michelle Obama has booked a cameo on the ABC show Nashville. With this and her appearance on iCarly, I think Michelle's ready to start appearing in films. May I suggest my favorite film series, Black Ass Fuckers? It's actually...
Police in New York investigating the deranged homeless man who attacked a girl with a hypodermic needle have made a shocking discovery. He's Mickey Rourke.
Remember the good old days back when MILF stood for mentally ill ladies I'd like to fuck? Right. Remember the good old days back when MILF stood for mentally ill ladies I'd like to fuck? I like my movies like I like my pasta. Meatballs too. Okay, go ahead. When Mozart would sit down to compose, this will be good for your son. Okay. When Mozart would sit down to compose a new piano concerto, he'd first pause, close his eyes, and say to himself, I better make this as hard as fuck to play. And you definitely do not want to come out in Nashville. And that's not because of the classic Southern intolerance or anything, but you do not want to be known as a gay predator. That would set the whole movement back. Here, it's time to do jokes. This is where we put in a big thing. Jokes.
Yeah.
So here, you can
Does
start.
It flash? Does it have
you
exclamation
can start. Just do the joke right into that camera.
And who wrote these? You got me just doing jokes.
Just read a joke.
Unsolicited. Is this from that joke book, that 1942?
No, this is a real joke.
Two businessmen bought the Milwaukee Bucks for $550 million. They are very excited with their purchase, as this is the only legal way to own black people. Now that is here, and I read that.
Well, you're not there. You know how businessmen are racist?
They are.
Yes, it's them being racist.
They
not
are.
You.
The two businessmen that bought the Milwaukee Bucks for $550 million are racist, according
they're
to this.
fine, man.
That's both funny and true.
That's too dirty. Let's do a nice joke to clean it up.
Opinions are like assholes. Neil Patrick Harris wants to stuff... You should let me read this ahead. Opinions are like assholes. Neil Patrick Harris wants to stuff his cock in them. Oh, wait, that's just assholes. It didn't get a laugh, but I'm laughing. That's very funny.
In what is considered a remarkably short period of time, the head of the Federal Advisory Board, Dr. Peter Mellman, has given speedy approval to a controversial new anti-obesity drug. It should be noted, however, Dr. Mellman's wife is a fat pig. According to retailers, the most popular Halloween mask this year is O.J. Simpson. And the most popular Halloween greeting is, "I'll kill you and that guy who's bringing over your glasses," or treat.
Pakistani father stoned his daughter to death for marrying a man of her own choosing, which means Pakistan's tourism board is going to have to find a new slogan to replace "Come to Pakistan." 3 whole days without anyone being brutally stoned to death by her own father.
You like that one?
These are NORM MACDONALD.
No, here, this is an actual joke.
That's what I was laughing at.
Mark, this is an actual joke. Right here, there's a new strain of swine flu that could turn into a pandemic.
Uh-huh.
Like, I don't know much about science, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't pretend to be a epidemiologist. Sometimes I do, but you know, that's when I've had a little whiskey.
Yeah, yeah.
But I do know this, a word cannot be good when it's a combination of panic and epidemic.
So how'd this... You say this didn't go well last night.
Well, no.
In a recent interview, tenor Luciano Pavarotti says that he is so in love with his new girlfriend that he likes to run nude on the beach with her. Read all about this in this month's issue of Things That Make Me Vomit. That picture makes me vomit as well.
Big Phoenix Suns president Rick Welts told the New York Times that he is gay. Rumors have swirled around Welts ever since he debuted his idea for the Suns' new uniforms. No uniforms. In a heartwarming gesture, the entire Suns team rallied around their president and blew him. How about this one? They say pimping ain't easy, Andy. But what they won't tell you is much, much more difficult being a prostitute. Pimping is pretty easy. I don't know if you heard of pimp.
How long have you had to work with
the
them?
Polish people? I remember the Poland. Do you remember they were trying to had something? They were trying to land on the sun.
Oh.
I was going to say that the Polish government did actually try to land on the sun back in the.
No, they didn't.
Yes, and they were ridiculed for it because they said you'll burn up when you come anywhere near. They said we're going at night.
Who?
Now,
Angry over the Atlanta Braves and Cleveland Indians' use of Indian caricatures as logos, Native Americans showed up at the World Series tonight. They chanted for hours to protest Indian stereotypes. Though it didn't help their cause any when it started to rain.
Hey, listen, man, a lot of people talk about masturbating to the Sears catalog when they were younger, you know?
Yes, I've looked through them.
You know, because nowadays with the porn and everything. But I'm a lot older than that. Back in my days, you actually had to go to a Sears store and fucking whack off.
To the mannequins.
Nobody tells me what I can or can't eat, least of all some guy whose job is labeling packets of silica gel.
Do you know what silica gel is?
No.
I feel the same way about slaves as I do about shirts with flame patterns on them. I don't want to be friends with anyone who owns either of them.
Another funny and true one.
Thomas Edison invented the light bulb, but I invented the light bulb up my ass.
I think women are more intelligent than men. Also, Conan, without women, there would be no cookies. Thanks, guys. Listen, I don't want to brag or anything, but me and Oprah are making the same money tonight. But the show has loosened up considerably. I noticed I was watching Oprah and Dave talking about weed and booze. And I don't do either of those. The hardest drug I ever did, LSD. And I remember I was a kid, I was like 16, and I remember they warned me, they said, hey, you gotta be careful with that LSD on account of you can get a flashback. 10 years can go by, 20 years, 30 years, and a flashback will happen. So I thought, hey, that seems like a good deal. You know, you tell me I buy a drug for $5, I eat it, I get high, and then 20 years later I get high again? That's not the point. I like to stretch my drug dollar. The point is this. 10 years have passed, 20 years have passed, 30 years have passed, and no flashbacks. What a gyp that turned out to be. Just more horse shit by the big acid companies, that's all it is. But I can't believe it's been a quarter century since I made my television debut. It was all different back then. You know, it was back then, I remember if you wanted to take a picture, you would use a camera, not a telephone. As a matter of fact, if you used a telephone, people would look at you odd. Give it like. Just stay still like that. What about in the old days when they took pictures of you way back, you know, where they pulled that thing and exploded and stuff? I got a picture of my great-grandfather. The thing took 6 hours to take your picture, and it was a picture of my great-grandfather, one. They only had, every guy had one picture back then. And it's just him like, I gotta get back, feed them hogs. Who's gonna feed the hogs? Somebody gotta feed them hogs. Now, in the future, of course, it'll be different. 50 years from now, people will be going like, hey, you want to see 100,000 pictures of my great-grandfather? I got him right here, plus everything he did every day of his life. Hey, this occurred to me today. ID, which I had to show it again. There's a strange abbreviation when you think about it. I is short for I. And then D is short for dentification. They could have split that one up a little better, you know? But I watch the TV, I watch the news, make you afraid, the news, you know? Put all these stories on, Iraq, Iran, North Korea, you know, try to scare you, you know? But does it ever really scare you? Like, you ever wake up in the middle of the night, North Korea! That little tiny country across the ocean. I wonder if they'll get me. Plus, didn't MASH settle that like 20 years ago? Why'd I have to watch that stupid show? There is one country that worries me, though. Not Iraq, not Iran, not North Korea. The only country that really worries me is the country of Germany. I don't know if you guys are history buffs or not, but... in the early part of the previous century, Germany decided to go to war. And who did they go to war with? The world. It had never been tried before. And so you figure that would take about 5 seconds for the world to win, but no, it was actually close. Then about 30 years pass, and Germany decides again to go to war, and again it chooses as its enemy the world. And this time they have that guy, Schrankly, Crankly, that guy, and I'm not even going to dignify him by saying his name, but I think you know what I'm talking about. But you'd think at that point the world will go, listen, Germany, here's the deal. You don't get to be a country no more on account of you keep attacking the world. I mean, what do you think, you're Mars or something? Anyways, listen, folks, this will be my last time on the David Letterman show, I understand. And you guys, we all know that David Letterman was the greatest talk show host who ever lived. But I remember Dave differently because the first time I saw him, I was 13 years old. I was living in... I was living in Toronto, Canada, and I went to a talk show they had there. And David Letterman was the stand-up comedian on the show. And I loved stand-up. And David Letterman did this joke that I told everybody this joke. I love this joke. It still stays with me as my favorite stand-up joke ever. So I'd like to do it for you if you'd like to hear it. He goes, I was on the street the other day, and I saw a garbage truck, and on the back of the garbage truck, there was a small sign that said, "Please do not follow too closely. Another of life's simple pleasures, ruined by a meddling bureaucracy," ladies and gentlemen. You remember the old days when Dad would pile the kids in the station wagon and we'd all go out and follow a garbage truck? So anyways, I'd just like to say, I know that Mr. Letterman is not for the mawkish, and he has no truck for the sentimental, but if something is true, it is not sentimental, and I say in truth, I love you. Oh my God.
Oh my God. Very funny, Norm. And thank you. Thank you for everything.
Thank you.
Norm MacDonald, ladies and gentlemen. That was very sweet, Norm. Good night, everybody.
But anyways, it's time to read jokes.
Yes.
We read jokes on this show, Nick.
All right.
It's easy. Then you don't have to think of them yourself.
I love it. I hate thinking.
Read that thing.
Can I read it now?
Yeah.
A Florida University student was caught streaking on campus and apparently told police he was on acid and asked them to cut his dick off. Boy, these kids today are crazy. In my day, we didn't need drugs. We would just cut our own dicks off.
Yeah, you didn't need no fucking acid and shit.
The show has loosened up considerably. I noticed I was watching Oprah and Dave talking about weed and booze. I don't do either of those. The hardest drug I ever did, LSD. And I remember I was a kid, I was like 16, and I remember they warned me, they said, hey, you gotta be careful with that LSD on account of you can get a flashback. 10 years can go by, 20 years, 30 years, and a flashback will happen. So I thought, hey, that seems like a good deal. You know, you tell me I buy a drug for $5, I eat it, I get high, and then 20 years later I get high again? That's not the point. I like to stretch my drug dollar. The point is this. 10 years have passed, 20 years have passed, 30 years have passed, and no flashbacks. What a gyp that turned out to be. Just more horse shit by the big acid companies, that's all it is.
I thought you were a Scotch.
I'm more of a beer drinker. IPAs.
Oh, IPAs. Mm-hmm. What's that, International Pale Ales?
That's India Pale Ale.
India Pale Ales. What do you like to drink? Other than fucking jizz. I mean, what alcohol do you like to drink?
Let's say one thing about my buddy Richie, who has a disease. And, but it's an interesting disease he has. He has the disease of alcoholism. And he came to me, you know, and he told me, and I like to look, I'm the kind of guy who likes to look at the bright side of things, you know. So I told him, I said, Richie, it's true that you have a disease and everything, but I think you got the best one. It's the only disease where you get to drink booze all the time. I haven't looked at every medical journal, but I believe it's the only disease where you can constantly drink booze. As a matter of fact, that is the disease. You know, and I don't think Richie would think if he had a disease. Like, I don't think Richie would go to my Uncle Bert and go, hey, I understand you got bowel cancer. Ah, man, I know how you feel. I gotta drink a lot of booze. Those diseases, they're tough, those diseases, huh, Uncle Bert? Hey, what's your symptoms, Uncle Bert? Well, my bowel, I got blood pouring out of it all the time. I got bowel blood pouring out, gushing out of my bowel, almost nonstop. And I got searing, clawing pains, ripping, tearing, you know, mind-screeching bowel pains. And they're combined with aching, dull, soul-deadening bowel pain. Those are basically my symptoms. How about you? I get happy. And, you know, I tend to be able to talk to people easier, I find. Sometimes I will meet a lady at a bar, got the same disease as I do, and I'll fuck her. But that's in the latter stages of the disease, Uncle Bert. You gotta realize that. Know what I mean, Uncle Bert? But no, but listen, man, I don't minimize what he does though, because he admits that he's an alcoholic and that he's weaker than a bottle, and that ain't easy to do. I couldn't do any of that shit. I'm too proud, you know what I mean? I got too much pride, you know, like they say in the scriptures, pride goeth before the fall, you know, and he can somehow, you know, it's a very beautiful thing he does. He goes to Alcoholics Anonymous and he says right in front of them, he says, you know, he goes in front of a whole room full of people and he says, I am an alcoholic, you know. Which I know does not sound that anonymous. I didn't name the group, but it sounds like the exact opposite of anonymous. Whatever.
like to me, the alcoholics that, the anonymous alcoholics, to me, would be like you guys. I don't fucking know. I can't tell, But once you tell a whole church basement full of people, your cover's pretty well blown. But anyways, it still requires a lot of... The only thing they seem to be anonymous about, from the way I can gather it, is they won't tell you their last names. Anything else goes, But not the last name. No. Sometimes they'll say the first, they'll go, I am Richie and I am an alcoholic, or the first initial. They'll say, my name is Richie K and I am an alcoholic. Then anything goes. They're like, one time I remember I was under the influence of the demon rum and I started punching my newborn in the face. I looked down at my fist and it was all bloody with, I don't know what it was. It was either from my knuckles or my son's skull. Yeah. I'm not telling you my last name. That's none of your beeswax. As far as I'm concerned, a man should have a little, Ever tell you about the time I blew a dog for a pint of gin? Oh, yeah, I did tell you. First initial's K, I'll give you that much. Richie K, but I'm not going to tell you the last letters. Plus, you can memorize my face. But other than that, I would like to keep this completely anonymous. If there was just a way I could... And what better way to keep a secret, when you think about it, than tell a room full of drunks? That's not going anyplace, As soon as the guy has a relapse, hey, Richie blew a dog for a pint of gin. He told a whole bunch of us. I mean, I understand the dog had some gin. What are you going to do? Oh, yeah. Richie K. You know Richie K? But I don't drink myself, It's not because I'm no big guy. I'm just afraid, I fear everything, And so I'm afraid to and stuff. But I used to. Now I don't drink. And when you're with people that drink, it doesn't work out. That's why that designated driver thing, I don't think ever worked out. I see ads for it again. Like I think they're trying to resurrect that idea. But it's kind of a flawed notion, It's like, hey, Bill, listen. We were wondering if you'd come out with us. Here's the idea. We want to go out and drink. And then we were hoping you'd come with us and not drink. How does that sound to you? We're going to go to a bunch of different bars and drink, and then you come with us and not drink. Also, we're not going to be driving. You're going to pick us up at our different houses, go to a bunch of bars, not drink while we drink, and then drive us all home. How's that sound to you? How's that catch you? I was like, I don't know. What's the catch? It sounds too good. For some sort of... But I don't drink, and if you don't drink, I'll tell you something, bars are not a lot of fun because, when you think about it, fucking all it is you're just sitting at a big oak table for 4 hours. That's not fun unless you're drunk. And then everybody else be drinking, you know what I mean? So their fun is going up and up and up, It's rising. Their fun is escalating while your fun is staying exactly the same. And then by the end of the night, you don't even know what the fuck they're laughing about. Just everybody's laughing. And then they start resenting you for it. I've seen that, man. Drunk people do not want a not drunk guy there. I know that. I've been there so many times. It always ends the same. Guy comes up to you and goes, hey, what's the matter with you? Cheer up. Ah. Then you're like, oh, no, I'm having a good time, too. Don't take a wild swing at me when I'm not looking.
be driving you home later. This is a lot of fun.
A little piece of it. I'm going to give you something that'll help you get through this. Anytime you think you want a drink, right?
Yeah. Is that what I think it is?
I don't know. Do you think it's cocaine?
Yep.
Well, you're partly right. It's cocaine, and there's also a lot of baby laxative.
We always run out of time, and I want you to tell. And you were a kid, right? This is the first time you got drunk.
When I got drunk, yeah, I was a very straight-laced kid, you know.
How old were you when this happened?
I was 19 years old, and I decided to drink, you know. And I was out with my buddies at a bar. My God, we started drinking. They had those shooters, you know. Mm-hmm. You know, those are hard to take, you know. You can't gauge them, you know. And before you knew it, I was so crazily drunk, like just drunk out of my mind. And so then time passes in a weird way and everything. And my friends, they wanted to leave the bar.
Right.
Like, yeah, let's go, right? And I'm like, ah! I got like crazy all of a sudden, right? So I'm like, why should I leave? We're having fun here at the bar. You guys leave if you want, right? So they go. And I'm making friends with everybody, man. There was a fat guy with a beard, you know? And there was a jukebox. It was like a Western movie, you know what I mean? And there's a bartender. There's all kinds of ladies and everything like that. And everybody's my friend. Right? So I'm getting drunker and drunker with these shots, you know, and they're all crazy, dirty sex name shots, you know? Like,
oh, yeah.
Here, have a dirty sex, you know, like, whatever. They make you order them to humiliate you.
Yeah.
You're a drunk loser. You're like, yeah, can you have sex with me? Just come on. So anyways, I get all drunk, and then I go into the bathroom, and a dude gives me some pills. He has some pills.
Oh, no.
Yeah, and you're not supposed to ever mix pills with booze.
Is that right?
Yeah. And then any doctor...
They told you up at the Mayo Clinic?
Yeah. But this guy was not a doctor. He was just a guy I met in the bathroom.
Even worse than a GP.
He was worse than a GP. His name, though, was Dr. Midnight. But I found out he was not accredited.
Not really a doctor, no. Yeah.
So anyways, so I take these pills, and what they do is, they say that you're not supposed to mix them, but on the other hand, in one way it works. So I'm like so drunk now and having so much fun and everything. Hey, fat bearded guy, having an arm wrestle with him. I don't know how to arm wrestle. Then all of a sudden I'm playing pool. I go to shoot a thing of pool and I fall down right in all the pool balls. And then I just black out. What's called blacking out. Yeah. It's not passing out.
You black out.
You don't remember anything.
Oh, yeah.
I wake up, right? I'm in a bed, but it's not my bed, you know? And I look beside me. Who do I see? The fat bearded guy. So I go, holy Lord God, I had sex with the fat bearded guy. And at this point in my life, I was a young man. I had never had intercourse in my life.
Right.
And I'd always imagined it, but I never imagined it that way. You know?
I wouldn't think so, no.
I imagined a nice lady in a dress.
That's right. But there's got to be a first time for everybody.
It's not all gravy.
No.
So I look over and I go, oh my God. Then I notice we're in twin beds there. You know, we're not not in the same bed. Right. And I go, is this some kind of one of them old-fashioned gay guys?
I don't know.
There's no such thing.
No.
Gay guys are generally not old-fashioned. They're right on top of the latest thing. They're happening. They're happening.
Right on top of the latest thing.
Yeah,
that's right, Norm.
And they're so ahead of things, they have sex, and they don't even use a lady. So anyways, the upshot of the story is, what happens is I never had sex with this fat guy with a beard. This guy had checked me into a rehab. This guy was like a dirty drunk. And he took me for a dirty drunk, too,
Sure, yeah,
right?
yeah.
So I'm like, what the hell? He says, yeah, man, you know, I'll go here and rehab, man. It's good for both of us. And I'm like, yeah, God. So I had a big, like a robe on and fluffy slippers. They wouldn't give me my clothes, right?
Oh, how long were you in
They had
there?
a bag of my clothes somewhere. They wouldn't tell me where it was.
Would they let you out?
No, 3 days I had to stay.
3
there.
days?
Yeah. They,
That's awful.
they made me go to what is called an Alcoholics Anonymous meeting, right? And I get up, I go, hey, I'm not an alcoholic, which it turns out is what a lot of alcoholics...
They all say that, yeah.
I said, the fat bearded guy, there's the alcoholic right over there.
And how long did you guys date?
No!
Ladies and gentlemen, it's Norm MacDonald. We'll be right back.
And it's important to understand how your actions affect the people around you. Oh, I see we have someone new joining us this week. Would you like to start first?
Well, I just want to say that I used to think that I was better than you people, you know? And then something happened to me recently where I realized that I have a problem because something I did really hurt my brother, so I just want to say that I have an addiction too, and I need help.
Hi, my name is Tony, and I haven't had sex with a dead person in over 2 weeks.
This isn't Gamblers Anonymous. It must be down the hall. I just want to say something. Remember earlier when I said I wasn't better than you people? I am. I'm better than you people. And I'm going to leave, all right? And if I should happen to die on the hallway, just stay the hell away from me, all right? Keep your hands to yourself.
Well, I can tell a joke.
Go for it. Yeah, please do.
This is what we're
Please.
looking for.
Yeah.
There was a little boy in school named Dirty Johnny. Now, he's not dirty in this joke, but he'd always be a hellion in class, and the teacher didn't think much of him. So the teacher has a project, or not a project, but an in-class thing. How'd that go again? She says, now, this is what you're going to do here, class. I want you to stand up. I want you to stand up and tell the class what a story from your life. And then afterwards say the moral to that story. So a girl puts up her hand. Yes, Becky, what's your story? So Becky stands up. She goes, my dad works for the hatchery here in town. And what happens was he got about 15 eggs. And he put them all in one basket, all in the same basket. So he put all his eggs in one basket. And he put it on the horse and buggy and drove back home. And by God, Becky says, the bouncing and all the eggs broke. Well, that's a good story, the teacher says, but what would the moral be to that? Becky says, well, the moral is, don't put all your eggs into one basket. But goddamn, says the teacher, that's a good one. Anybody else? Marjorie puts up her hand. Marjorie, what's your story? She says, well, my dad worked for the hatchery, as all of us. Thank God for the hatchery. She says, or we'd all be lost. But anyways, my dad knows that eggs become chickens. And so he was counting his chickens, and he added in the eggs, you see. And then he put them on a horse and buggy to go to town, and they all broke. Well, what's the lesson to that? The teacher says. She can't understand. And she says, well, don't count your chickens before they hatch out of an egg. Mm-hmm. So the teacher says, that's a great one, too. Anybody else? Well, wouldn't you know, Dirty Johnny has his hand up. So the teacher's like, holy God, I don't want it. But on the other hand, I made an oath to every child, should I suppose I gotta All right, Dirty Johnny, what do you have to say? Johnny stands up. Stories about my Uncle Terry. He never worked at the hatchery on account he was in Vietnam, and he got disability. He don't even like people work at the hatchery. But the story happened far from these shores, in a little town called Da Nang. Terry was not well liked. His whole troop left him, abandoned. And he woke up in the weeds, and all they left him with was 3 bottles of Jack Daniels, some weapons. Terry stood up and downed 1 bottle right away. Said, if I'm going out, I'm going out. He took his Balishnikov and a couple of Glocks and his 2 bottles, and away he went. He found a town. And he didn't know if it was Charlie or if it was one he was sent to protect. But all he knew was he had hate in his gut. So he started firing. And he fired the Kalashnikov with an arcing kind of, like a farmer would with hay, with a scythe. And sure enough, the men fell like hay before him. And then the women, and by God, I'm ashamed to say it, but then the children. And finally, all was left was Uncle Terry standing in the mud and the blood and the glory. And he touched his pants, and it was wet, and he said he was ashamed. He felt shame, Uncle Terry, for he'd pissed himself. Well, he touched it again. It was not urine at all, but ejaculate. And Uncle Terry felt pride where shame once was. And the teacher's like, good Christ, what kind of a story is that? What the hell is the moral to that? Oh, well, he says, when Uncle Terry's been drinking, you don't fuck with him.
And this year, he says he's only going to eat meat that he's actually killed. And I was wondering, what are you adhering to lately?
I'm a vegetarian, a strict vegetarian.
No, have you done that?
Well, I eat chicken.
What's not all that?
That's not vegetarian.
I'm not. I said I'm not strict. I eat chicken and
steaks,
beef, pork. I ate raw game. Did you ever eat? It's not dead yet.
No, you're
and
over
you
there.
eat it, and as you're eating it, their death throes are making you hungrier.
There's nothing.
That's better than a soybean.
Yeah, you're right.
Which sounds better, that or soybean?
Listen.
According to retailers, the most popular Halloween mask this year is O.J. Simpson. And the most popular Halloween greeting is, I'll kill you and that guy who's bringing over your glasses, or treat. This week on Larry King Live, Marlon Brando made the shocking statement that Hollywood is, quote, run by Jews. In response, outraged Jewish organizations made it snow in New York in April. See, I think we should get the homicide out of the White House and get like a fresh start, because we don't want any more murderers.
I think we should just go on to the next question.
Oh.
Who are the murderers?
Yeah.
Oh, Clinton, he murdered a guy.
Yeah, you know, we're not allowed to, you're not allowed to put out accusations without
That's a little too far.
That's the way it does work.
Let's just go on to the next question.
Yeah.
This is not my week. What can I tell you?
Oh, it's not mine either, and I'm being very nice, okay? Be a good boy. Now, Norm.
Do you never hear that?
No. Listen, we don't need
I
to
don't
talk
want to get
about
into this, and I don't want to hear it, and this is not the place to make those accusations, and you're supposed to be funny. Let's get on to the next question, so get with it.
There you go.
This is a live show.
Not for nothing, Norm, but you have been properly chastised by Barbara, so I'm now going to ask the next question.
I thought it was a matter of record.
Shut up!
Shut up! Look, let me do this, okay?
I'll tell you what's a matter of record. You will not be invited back if you don't shut up. All right, now.
You've admitted that you're lazy. I think you've read 6 books in your life.
I've read 6.
6. What kind of a woman would be attracted to you, do you think?
Well, I have a lot of money.
Hey, for the 9th consecutive year, Nick, JetBlue Airlines ranked first for satisfaction among all North American airlines. But you know what ranked least in satisfaction? 9/11 Airlines. What a terrible name for an airline. It reminds me of that tragedy. Oh, 9/11. Yeah, don't laugh at 9/11.
What?
Again. 9/11. I tried to tell him not to laugh.
Adam.
I know. I walked through blood and bones in the streets of Manhattan trying to find my brother.
Jesus.
Yeah, he was in northern Canada.
Here we see the president and the first bitch. Hey, slow down, you bitch. Let me catch up. When I accepted the honor of performing here tonight, one thought crossed my mind, and that was, please, God, don't let me bomb in front of the president. But I'm not worried. What the hell do I care? You know, I worked on all my jokes. I got a lot of help from my joke writer, Don Imus. He was helped me a lot. Are you familiar? You know this guy? He's a funny guy. He wrote some jokes. Anyways, the dinner was great. You enjoyed the dinner? We had some salmon. Yeah, it was delicious. It was great, and I thought it was, refreshing to see Democrats serve something other than subpoenas for a change. I thought that was nice, you know. I'll be doing some jokes later. I just thought I'd.
Well, one time I was on his other show, Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, and it was Celebrity Who Wants to Be a Millionaire, so the questions are a little easier.
Yeah, you won.
I heard they didn't give you the money.
Yeah.
No, they give it to a charity. They don't tell you.
Oh, that sucks.
No, they give it to sick children.
Oh, that's nice.
Yeah, that's nice. They need, they need money too.
Are you drunk? Because all you did was ride a cooler and you're sweating.
I am. Well, it's hot it's hotter than a $2
Well, he's
pistol
got like
in here.
12 layers on.
Yeah,
I
I
think.
thought it was going to be really cold.
Well, you're from Canada. This should be springtime for you.
No, I know I'm from Canada, but I'm still a human being. Like it's not like we evolved differently. Yeah, no, I'm from the frozen north.
Yeah.
Yeah, it gets colder than
Oh, here it comes.
Get your finger on the panic button.
No, it gets colder than a vampire's demeanor.
Okay, that's better.
Wow. Surprisingly cerebral.
What are you guys up to, man?
We're joined by the talented trio called the Lonely Island.
Yeah,
who
you
will
know
be
what I
on the
call
big.
them?
What do you call them?
I call them Sandberg and the other couple of fellows.
The Mind Squad
The
is
other
how Rolling Stone put it.
The iron horse of broadcasting.
It's iron. You don't pronounce it iron.
That's what everybody tells me.
It's the iron horse. Like Lou Gehrig was the iron horse of baseball.
Yes.
The word I-R-O-N is iron. No, iron.
Iron.
That's what makes English the world's toughest language.
Yeah.
Right? Sure.
It is the
Because
toughest
it's the toughest language
To
to
me,
learn.
it's the easiest.
Yeah, well, you were born with it.
In his book, O.J. Simpson says that he would have taken a bullet or stood in front of a train for Nicole. Man, I'm going to tell you, that is some bad luck when the one guy who would have died for you kills you. That's probably... You don't get worse luck than that.
About this girl, she's mad at you. She was on the Greg Fitzsimmons show. Did you hear anything about this?
I know Greg Fitzsimmons.
Yeah, Greg does a show for us, and Greg was interviewing some girl, and she was going off.
I know who it is.
What's the girl's name?
Me and Norm have worked with her before. That's why he's going to laugh when I say the name. Laura Keitling. Hates your guts.
Did you know she hates you?
No.
Oh my God! Do you want to hear the clip? All right, hold on.
By the way, wait, can I interrupt your old friend, NORM MACDONALD? Did you guys write together on,
He's not a friend of mine. Roseanne, right?
Well, I was just using it loosely.
Now, you had a reaction just
not
now
a
to
friend
Norm
at all.
MacDonald. Not a friend, not a fan.
You worked with him, though.
At Saturday Night Live.
Roseanne.
No, I missed him at Roseanne. Well, I came in, and he was supposed to be the my guide through SNL, and it turned out that...
Well, I mean, I barely remember Laura from the show, except for her hit characters, obviously.
I don't even know who she is.
But
She's very talented.
She makes Morweena Banks look like Gilda Radner. But no.
You had a look of surprise on your face, even when this woman said, well, you know, Norm was supposed to be my guide through Saturday Night Live.
Guide?
Did anyone inform you that you were her guide?
No.
There was no such mentoring program at Saturday Night Live, was it?
No, she came in directly after me, so I wouldn't be her...
mentor?
Yeah, I'm not going to guide any lady through comedy. That would take me, first of all, I'd have to figure out how a lady could do comedy. You know? And then I'd have to... Want the new people. Oh, hey, guess what? There's a young girl that's middling attractive that swears a lot. Let's get her. What? Is that the new fucking thing?
Yeah.
Sarah Silverman, hysterical.
Right.
Who's funnier than her?
Nobody.
No, except dudes. But,
Nobody.
And people had very strong opinions on the election. You know, some people had very strong opinions one way, and other people had strong opinions the other way. And I didn't have any opinions at all. I don't have really any opinions on anything. Like, you ever watch the CNN, and they'll have the polls, you know, and it'll be like, what do you think about embryonic stem cell research? And then it'll be like, see, there you go. It'll be like 52% yes, 46% no, 6% I don't know. See? And that's me. I don't know. So I phone up the CNN, you know, and I go, hey, listen, is this the TV? Yeah, that question you asked about the embryonic stem cell research? I don't know. And there's Charles Woodson. How about that? What a season he had. Great, man. He became the first defensive player to win the Heisman Trophy. And congratulations, Charles. That is something that no one can ever take away from you. Unless you kill your wife and a waiter, in which case... all bets are off. Just a word of advice.
How's life on the road?
I got a kid.
You have a kid?
Yeah, man, when you have a little baby, like, I guess I never loved anybody before, you know? And when I had the baby, it was like, oh my God, like you have all this love and you feel like so incredible, you know? And like single guys can't understand it, like so I'd be telling them, I go, this is like the most unbelievable feeling you'll ever have in your life, you know? And they'll go, like, is it like crystal meth? And I'm like, he's brilliant, Byron Allen. He had that Comics Unleashed. You ever do that? Oh, you couldn't be more leashed.
There's nothing. It's not like there's nothing unleashed about it. It's not like you would have like Lenny Bruce on and like.
And he has no segue. So this is what he said to John Lovitz one time. He said, he just turned to him from, you know, he's talking to Schimmel, and then he goes to John Lovitz. He goes, now, John, I understand you're growing older. This is my promise to the people of the Video Podcast Network world. I will not eat a single morsel of food until Margaret Thatcher is dead and buried.
She died 3 weeks ago. We'll be right back with Larry King.
The weirdest show I ever see, the dating game. That's a weird show. The prize on the dating game, another contestant. Talk about cheap, you know, they chuck you somebody else. And they always do the same thing on the dating game. They get a beautiful girl, match her up with 3 big geeks, you know? Last week they had a guy, I was like a crazy guy, loony bin, psycho, wingnut, crazy guy. You can tell by the way they introduce him. You know, they go, bachelor number 2 is a shadowy, lurking character. From no fixed address, please welcome. Guy comes shambling into the studio, well-thumbed copy of Catcher in the Rye sticking out of his back pocket area. And then they made the girls ask those questions. They always be laced with sexual innuendo, you know. Girl got to go, bachelor number 2, if I were a popsicle. What would you do to me then? What? That's what it says on the card here, something about a popsicle. And then the guy goes, well, if you were a popsicle, huh? Well, first of all, I guess I'd take your wrapper off. If you know what I mean. Then I'd grab a hold of your sticks. If you know what I mean. Then I'd press you against the counter till you're broken too. But half you in the freezer till later. You know what I mean? You understand what I'm getting at there?
I play with him.
You do. How old is he now?
How old is this young man?
He's 15 years old.
15 years
You're
old.
still playing with him.
Right.
You know, it's a funny thing.
Yeah.
When he was a very young boy, you know, when he was like 3, 4, something like that, I would play games with him. You know, like we'd play basketball or something.
Sure.
And I'd let him win.
Right.
You know. And now he can beat me at everything. And so he's like, hey, man, I always beat you at everything. I said, no, fuck, I used to let you win. You go, fuck, he doesn't believe it.
He always beat you.
Yeah, so he just thinks I'm some retard that can't beat a fucking infant.
But you know, it is rather daunting to me. I'm just a guy, you know? What the hell am I? And here I am, you know, I look out, I see President Bill Clinton, you know, I see Secretary of State Madeleine Albright, you know, media mogul Rupert Murdoch, you know, broadcast legend Larry King, you know, pornographer Larry Flint, you know, Dick Morris. The list is starting to drop off a little, folks, but still, you get the idea. It's daunting. And of course, it was very inspiring to see President Clinton up here on crutches making a speech. I mean, I thought that was just amazing, you know. I mean, it's been difficult for the president. You know, he can't jog now, and he needs help getting around, and he still occasionally suffers great pain, you know. On the upside, you got your medical marijuana, so that's, you know. You must inhale, sir. It's the only way you're going to get better.
How's the family? How's everything going?
Ah, great, man. Couldn't be better. Life is fantastic.
Yeah.
I like life, man.
You do, really?
Oh, my God. People that complain about it. First of all, you're lucky enough to be alive when you think about it. You know what I'm saying? Your mother had to have sex with your father. That your grandparents had to have sex. Great-grandparents had to have sex. It's lucky you're alive, my God.
It's amazing.
And I'm so happy every day that I'm alive
be.
because it's just a fluke. There's so many more people that never got to be alive. You know? And,
that's an interesting point. I guess you're right. If you do the math.
So when people carp about it, I'm like, man, it's the greatest gig in the world, being alive. You get to eat at Denny's, wear a hat, whatever you want to do.
Yeah, get haircuts. It is. Well, good. I'm glad.
It was revealed today that O.J. Simpson told police that Nicole Brown Simpson used to beat him up. He also claimed that she and Ron Goldman killed him.
I met that guy, Michael J. Fox.
Yeah,
and
people know him.
It was before he was
a love star.
Yeah, it was before it was out that he had that thing.
He has Parkinson's.
Yeah. But it was before that.
All right.
So I met him at Holly. What do you call that? What?
So I might ask you to go to the black and white thing in around 5 seconds.
No, Disney World. No, it's quick. It's quick. Disney World. I meet him. You know, I'm excited to meet him. You know, so I meet him like 10 years later, and here he is. Now he's got Parkinson's. And I go, you remember me? You know, I met you when I was young, and I met you at Disney World and everything. And he goes, Yeah, I just got a thing. I'm not crazy.
Did he say that?
Yeah, I said I'm not crazy.
Oh, that's
But I didn't mean this. I didn't mean that. I just meant. Do you remember?
Listen, I've got a couple young tykes who want to kiss the ring. You ready to receive this, or
Yeah.
you're not going to flip on these cats? Anybody who loves you, you have to torch. That's your MO.
Torch? What am I, Jeffrey Ross?
Well, let's go. Let's go.
But no, you sure I admire people who have strong opinions. Like Linda Rodstad. She did that thing, where she got up and sang and everything, and then she started talking, and then people were going, "God damn, I thought she was supposed to sing," and she just kept talking, and finally they were like, "Come on, man, sing those only 2 songs we ever heard you sing. We're trying to." $45 ticket I'm holding here. And, celebrities have, they can speak up, they're smart, some of them, most of them are dumb, but some of them, because I meet celebrities, I'm a celebrity, and so I meet celebrities, and I know as soon as I shake their hand, I know, hey, there's a dumb guy. Because I'm a dumb guy myself, and I got that, how gay guys have the gaydar? I'm like that with dumb people. I'm like, hey, how's it going? Hey, I could have a conversation with you, man. People are just like me and you.
I know.
How many times do I have to tell you that?
Well, you tell me that all day, how I'm just like all the gay people.
Gay people are the same as everybody.
No, you mean, you always tell me specifically how I think you're just calling me gay. It's one of the
It's not an insult. He
no,
thinks it's an insult.
No, I didn't mean it.
Why would being gay be an insult?
Yeah. I love gay people.
Yeah, I know.
Well, let's get to O.J. O.J. Simpson's lawyers say they don't want the families of Nicole Brown and Ronald Goldman in the courtroom during the trial. They're afraid the presence of the family members will just remind O.J. of how much more killing he still has to do. Finally, folks, next week, Jews everywhere will be celebrating the holiday of Yom Kippur, or as non-Jews refer to it, Wednesday.
But Bob is a very, very funny man, and I often go in the booth with him,
Oh, sure.
So one time we were there, and John Fogerty was in the audience.
Mm-hmm.
A fortunate son, So John Fogerty was there, so Bob Uecker is a very interesting guy. He thinks of everybody as the same. He doesn't think of people as stars or anything like that. He's a very down-to-earth guy. So he was talking to me, and he says, hey, man, you know that guy? I go, yeah. He goes, that's John Fogerty, rock and roll singer. So I go, yeah, I know who it is. He goes, yeah, man. He goes, but I played in a golf tournament with him. He goes, you probably think of him as some that likes to bite the heads off of chickens, but this guy can...
That's exactly how I think of him.
This guy can get it out of the sand trap like nobody's business. So he goes, he's got a hell of a set of pipes on him. He goes, come the 7th inning stretch, I'll have him up here. He'll sing for you. So I said, no, Bob, don't do that. Like, don't have him come up and sing for me, please, He goes, what's the matter, man? Don't you even know who he is? He got all mad. So I go, yes, Bob, I know who he is. He did Creedence Clearwater Revival.
Yeah.
He goes, yeah, he did all that. Now, do you think Cosby's legacy will be hurt?
Yeah.
You do, huh? I mean, there was a comedian, Patton Oswalt, he told me, I think the worst part of the Cosby thing was the hypocrisy. And I disagreed.
You disagree with that?
Yeah. I thought it was the raping. As my feeling, most rapists are hypocrites. You don't meet many who go, I like raping, and I know it's not politically correct, but by God, people go, well, he's not being a hypocrite, and that's the worst part. It's a question from Blake's good friend, Norm. No, Blake, it's fun watching you this year. Wasn't it cool?
Thank you.
And I was wondering, like, there's a kind of a curse with Rookie of the Year. Nobody's ever repeated it.
I didn't think about that. Well, I'll try as hard as I can next year, but
All right, man.
I don't know. I don't know. Thank you for that question, though. That's going on top of the goals for next year.
Do you know the Harlem Shake?
Yeah, I've seen it on every single commercial.
You've seen it. Then you'll appreciate this joke. I remember back when the Harlem Shake was just a black fella holding me upside down off a fire escape trying to collect his money.
Can you find out what...
You know, it just occurred to me, Mr. President, you are now handicapped, and you're the President of the United States. You must have an unbelievable parking spot, you know? Let's try to be very close to the building, you know? Reveal this week that defense lawyer Johnny Cochran once abused his first wife. In his defense, Cochran said, "Hey, at least I didn't kill her like some people I know."
Fun. Norm, thanks for dressing up.
Hey, Sarah, listen, man. Congratulations, that's the 100th time that joke's been done tonight. But I also want to tell you, I have a bet with Daniel Kellison, a rather large figure.
Daniel Kellison, who put this whole thing together way over his head.
He says you
did it.
He says you can explain what the fuck Jash is.
Jash is
pay up, fucker.
Jash is a comedy collective, a United Artists, if you will. Uniting myself, Reggie Watts, Michael Cera, and Tim and Eric. And what do? We do whatever we dream up. We shoot it, and it goes on there. We can fail, we can do well. It's total freedom.
No offense, but it sounds like some fucking commie gobbledygook.
You got me, Norm.
I mean, I've never heard the word collective.
I know, but
Leon
Daniel
Trotsky.
puts buzzwords in my head, and then I just blindly
out of
say
all
them.
those people you mentioned.
I know you're new to this. I'm going to teach you a little something. One of the first things in hosting an interview show is to listen.
What's that now?
The answer given by the guest. My whole motto, my whole broadcasting career, that's why I don't like a lot of guys on the air now, is that I never learned anything when I was talking.
Can I interrupt you there?
Yeah.
To illustrate the point that their client is running out of money to defend himself, O.J. Simpson's lawyer said this week that if he had to do it over again, after killing his victims, O.J. would now rob them as well. That one you find troubling? We went.
Did I tell you I ate a live fish in real life?
No.
Yeah, I was at a sushi restaurant, and the guy's like Japanese. Mm-hmm. And so I go, I eat just sashimi, like raw fish. Mm-hmm. I don't eat with rice or anything like that.
Yeah.
Am I trying to impress him? So he goes, eat raw, you eat live fish? I go, yeah. Even though I don't. And he goes,
never think he's going to call you on
yeah, and I go, plus it sounds kind of cool. Mm-hmm. And he goes, I get you live fish. I go, thanks, man. Like I was an inside guy, and then he brought out a fish and hit it and knocked it out and put it on a stick. It was live. And that clears out a sushi bar. A lot of people, the girl I was in was barfing in a bathroom. And the only people interested was the guy, the Japanese sociopath guy. And all the Mexican help, they were all like looking like I'd eat it. And so I had to cut it. And then they leave the fish that's on the skeleton that looks like the one Sylvester found on a garbage thing. Mm-hmm. To move. It's moving and like a dead bobblehead, and you had to put water in its mouth to keep it alive so you could watch it die as you ate. It was a nice meal.
Jesus, I'm living such a pale life today. I mean, you are.
If you guys think it's weird that guy in Cleveland kept 3 women in his basement as sex slaves, wait till you hear what my middle-aged Uncle Gordon kept in his basement. A fucking electric train. At least these were human beings.
At least.
Living the great life, living the dream every day.
Yeah.
Norm, every day.
Did you enjoy that bit we did with driving around?
It was really hysterical.
Yeah, I got a late. They put me in late. I don't think I would have to take a
Where
look
did you
at
go?
it.
Did
I don't
you
think
take
it
a spin
worked.
around the station? I couldn't find you.
You drove way too far down the hall.
I got a heavy foot.
There's a real stream of consciousness thing happening here, Norm.
Yeah, it's called conversation. But there's no break on mine.
Oh, man, I want to buy this dog. You should have seen this dog. This guy wanted to sell me a dog in the store. It was $600, this dog. Can you believe it? $600 for a dog? Oh, man. I was looking to pay, a buck. I just wanted a bargain dog, a nice discount dog, a cheap, off-the-rack kind of dog, any kind of... Show me to your bin of dogs, my good man, I said to the guy. But this guy says, no, he says, why don't you buy this dog? He says, it's $600, this dog, but he says, this dog is a pit bull. He says, this dog will protect your valuables. And I don't even have anything very valuable, I buy the pit bull, that would be the most valuable thing I have. I'd have to buy something to protect it then, I'd be out shopping for Wolverines the next day there. Show me something in a timber wolf if you could. Of course, they say the White House is haunted. Did you know that? And I thought this was kind of sad. I heard last night that President Clinton charged Abraham Lincoln's ghost $10,000 to sleep in his own bed. So that doesn't seem right to me, I mean... But look, the president, has come under a lot of fire for raising money, but he's good at raising money. That's not a bad thing. Every president's done it. It's just that President Clinton is very, very, very good at it. He has organized in the past year over 100 fundraising dinners and over 200 fundraising midnight snacks. Did you know that? Is he laughing? Is he... O.J. Simpson's lawyers have decided to skip hearings on DNA evidence and go right to trial. Asked why they did this, the lawyers replied, "We want to get O.J. acquitted as speedily as possible so he can get back to doing what he does best, killing people." No, I was just thinking, because they have that Viagra thing out. Yeah. And the other day, Bob Dole came right out and said... He was one of the first. Yeah. And, you don't want to hear about Bob Dole's cock, I mean, President Clinton's cock, Bob Dole's cock, what the hell? But mostly, an old man like that, you don't want him to have a super hard cock. You know what I mean? Why? Why? Because an old man, you want him to be, got a pipe going, a newspaper, the dog at his feet there.
Well, that, in some corners, is considered pipe.
Oh. But now they're going to have to create some goddamn pill that makes women aroused at the sight of a fucking 70-year-old dude with a super hard cock. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. This is Viagra. It's insane. And you know what it's for? Impotent people. All right, it's for impotent guys. So get this. I read this. The pill can make your cock hard for 4 hours. Right. So now, who has the 4-hour hard cock? The impotent guy. The rest of us are fucked. Me and you got our regular cocks. Meanwhile, fucking Spade is,
Prefer to Spade. Oh, man. I didn't see it.
I didn't see it coming.
Dude, I know you didn't. He brought it all around and then a vicious rip kick into his best friend's gut.
Once there's too much cock talk, I try to just zone out for a minute till it goes back the other way.
If there's too much cock talk, this guy has fevered nightmares all night. Dreams, I mean, like sweaty, fevered dreams from the cock talk that's been all over his head.
Why bury me twice? He's killing me.
No, he's a good man.
That erased it. All right.
No, he's a good man.
Who cares?
After all that, that's
Gays.
You know, I'm old enough to remember back to simpler, more innocent times when the worst thing you'd hear about the news was hijacked jetliners flying into buildings.
Oh, now, Gilbert, you're going to get into trouble again.
What I wanted to show you is how easy it is to watch yourself and other live streams on your tablet device.
On the computer.
On the computer.
Yeah.
Go ahead and hit play there.
Okay,
It's
oh,
right
I
there
see.
in my.
It's so simple.
Do you see your face?
Oh, yeah, it's me with a huge, fat fucking face.
Yeah, I didn't want to be the one to say it.
Yeah, I've been having a lot of trouble. My doctor, he said, he's not a very nice guy. He said, open your mouth and say oink.
Yeah, you need to get better insurance, Norm.
Insurance? He was calling me a fat pig.
Well, I mean, nobody's going to disagree with him.
Oh, chasm.
I'm sorry, Norm. I've got an acid tongue.
You do. You're an acid-tongued Arab.
Well,
One time I was hosting, and there was 3 guys.
I've never hosted. How many times have you hosted?
Just one time. It was a mistake.
Did it not go well?
It was all right.
Did you do update?
No.
You
It
didn't
was,
even do update?
it was right after I got fired from Update. I thought it'd be funnier back then. But anyways, so there were three guys doing music, you know.
Yeah.
And I don't know music. I just know old music. Like again, Lauren would go, "Who do you like?" And I go, "You like this guy."
Bobby Goldsboro.
Yeah, Bobby Goldsboro. Eddie Cantor, is he around? And Lauren go, "You've got to go," you know. So
who'd they have on? Very hip.
So they
young
had
kids.
they had hip guys that everyone else knew except me. It was Snoop Dogg. He just changed his name, and he was angry because I kept getting it wrong. It used to be Snoop Doggy Dogg. It was Snoop Dogg and Eminem and Dr. Dre.
That's a pretty heavy lineup.
Yeah,
though.
but to me it was 2 black guys and a white guy. So I go to introduce them.
You're beautiful.
And they were all
just
standing,
trying to get this into the barn. Don't go black white on.
They were all standing They were all standing like in
I'm
rap.
out there with Francis Farmer. You're about to go up and take me with you.
They were standing in rap positions, as you know, like against. And I'm about to introduce them, so they're standing in that rap position where it looks like they'll either start singing rap or pull a gun and kill you. So then I go, as a joke, I look at them, because I remember this is kind of a Letterman-y thing to do, but I go, "Fellas, are you ready? Are you ready?" Which forces them to go shake their heads slightly. Even though they're in this crazy, dangerous
I'll post up.
I'll post up. So I thought that was funny. But then I learned later they were geniuses, and I should have befriended them rather than...
You're a freaking genius, Norman.
The oddest slogan I've ever heard. What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas, they say. Of course it's not true. You can't kill a person and leave. They'll follow you across state lines and bring you back, and you'll face a jury of your peers. So I said, what does that mean? What does it mean? Like, what are they getting at, you know? I started ruminating about it. I whittled. I started whittling.
Oh, you whittle?
Yeah, when I ruminate, I whittle.
Whittle and ruminate.
Yeah, whittle.
Hand in hand.
And I said, what does that actually mean? What happens in Vegas stays in Vegas? And it came to me in a sudden. What it means is you can have sex with a prostitute in Las Vegas, and she will not tell your wife. They're very discreet in Vegas. They're not like these gossipy small town whores. You know. These blabbermouths down at the beauty parlor with that pale blue thing over their head, whatever that is, go, "You're Hank Johnson's husband?" By God, I had sex in exchange for cash last night with him. Small world.
Yeah, in exchange for cash.
See, this is the thing with celebrity trials, you know, is that it really gets the country all worked up. Because the last celebrity murder, of course, we had was the O.J. Simpson murder. And what happened there is O.J. Simpson was acquitted of murder, you know. And then all the black people thought that O.J. was innocent. And all the white people thought that O.J. was guilty. So what happened was it created a racial divide in the country. I read that in a magazine. It created
But what that means is, of course, the races were divided, you know? And that's no good, you know? So I was figuring, maybe, what do you think of this? Maybe we let Robert Blake off and call it even. And then...
Well, earlier this week, actor Marlon Brando met with Jewish leaders to apologize for comments he made on Larry King Live. Among them, that, quote, Hollywood is run by Jews. The Jewish leaders accepted the actor's apology and announced that Brando is now free to work again. In a brilliant move during closing arguments, Simpson attorney Johnny Cochran put on the knit cap prosecutors say O.J. wore the night he committed the murders. Although O.J. may have hurt his case when he suddenly blurted out, hey, easy with that. That's my lucky stabbing hat. Who are safer drivers, men or women? Well, according to a new survey, 55% of adults feel that women are most responsible for minor fender benders, while 78% blame men for most fatal crashes. Please note that the percentages in these pie graphs do not add up to 100% because the math was done by a woman. For those of you hissing at that joke, it should be noted that that joke was written by a woman. So now you don't know what the hell to do, do you? No, I'm just kidding. We don't hire women. You heard the latest? I heard this just the other day. There's a rumor that last week, a certain, I don't want to say who it is, a certain gentleman in ABC News, he went to a party and he got really drunk and he ended up having sex with his own wife. I don't know. I don't know how these rumors get started, but you know, it's probably just a vicious rumor, really, you know.
And joining us in the Show Before the Show living room is host of Norm MacDonald Live on YouTube, the wonderful Norm MacDonald.
Yes, and Jenny, all the stars are here.
Do you want a microphone, Norm?
Yes. Is that my tree?
What a disaster.
Jenny, all the stars are here.
It's true.
Beardy Man, Claude Racine, Dax Flame, Betty Fine,
you got it,
and Raphael Fine. All the stars.
You really keep up with all that
are
stuff.
here tonight. Oh yes. Yeah. Harley Morenstein is here.
All right. And we also have comedian Todd Glass. He'll be hanging out backstage with some of tonight's guests. And on the red carpet, we've got comedian Kulap Vailesak and host...
I feel like Todd will be struggling to know these people.
I'm sorry, I'm going to continue with the what the computer says, Norm, although I'd love to talk to you more than this computer.
We're on
but
the
I have
computer.
to do what the computer says, even though I do love you, Norm. I think you're one of the best. We're also going to be talking to the host
I'm no Harley Morenstein.
You're not, Norm, but you got to just let me read this fucking thing.
The next time I watch a WNBA game will be the first time I watch a WNBA game.
And what's been going on? Bring us up to date. What's been on your mind?
I had a big pork chop for dinner, and I live in the moment.
Mm-hmm.
But my belly too big for the anyway. Two things struck me while I was eating dinner, Dave. One, you eat dinner at a restaurant different than you eat dinner at your home. Like, at your home, you would never say, man, I'm going to make myself a pork chop, cook it up till it's hot on one side, then turn it over, hot on the other side, cook, and then cut into it a little bit, see how it's going in the middle. But while I'm waiting for my pork chop to get nice and hot and delicious so I can eat it, first, I'll eat a big loaf of bread.
So that's at home.
Yeah, at home. Get 20 or 30 pats of butter. The other thing I noticed is dessert. Now, in the old days, dessert, the waiter would come to your table and go, what do you want for dessert, a apple pie or a cherry pie?
Oh, yeah.
You go, I'll have a cherry pie.
Sure.
Or an apple pie, don't matter. No reason to divide the audience this early.
No, that's right. You don't want to do that, no.
But you would order your pie, you'd eat it, and everything would be fine on Earth.
Yeah.
Nowadays, it's all different. Guy comes, he's got a big tray.
Oh, yeah.
He had a canted angle, every confection known to man.
Sure.
Suddenly, his tone changes. It's not like the pork chop anymore. Some kind of sexual undertones going on. He's like, you like this? I'm like, I don't know. What is Do you like decadent things?
Yeah.
You're like, not that much.
No, yeah.
Once in a while, I guess.
Yeah.
May I tempt you, please? No, I'm a fella, you're a fella.
And now it's time for Weekend Update's movie reviews. This week I saw Interview with the Vampire. And here's my review. Not gay enough.
No, there's an interesting dynamic that happens when a guy becomes way more successful and powerful than you are.
Right.
Which is, I don't want to phone out. I love Sandler. I talk to him a lot, but I try to limit it because he gets bugged a lot, you know? He gets
People want
bothered a
things
lot.
from him.
Yeah, people want things from him, so I don't want anything from him. But when I'm talking to him, I feel like he might think I want something from him or something like that.
Right. You're so aware of others' feelings.
Now you're killing him. What the hell are you doing?
I know he's going to slam me when he says some shit like that.
No, you just snotted all over yourself.
I can fucking see that one coming.
In other words,
you're a motherfucker.
In other words, you're so in tune.
That's not what I'm saying.
Yes. You're bragging, aren't you? Now, you're saying...
Now, Norm, if there's one thing about Norm is he's very in touch with other people's feelings.
Norm.
I've never seen a reaction like that in here.
Norm, what you're saying, you just vomited on yourself, and you blew snot out of your nose. Norm.
There goes that mic.
What I'm trying to say.
No, what I was going to say was this.
But you like, I mean, you said you sometimes you have a little too much to drink, maybe?
Well, one time I drank a super amount, and I don't even...
A super amount,
yeah,
right?
It was when I was a young guy. I'd only drunk like 8 or 9 times in my whole life. I never had gotten really drunk, but I'd had drinks. And I went out with my buddies and I was drinking, and they were having those crazy drinks. All of a sudden, I was really drunk. And then a guy gave me some pills. Like, he said, hey, you want some pills? And I said, yeah, all right. So I ate the pills. And you're not supposed to eat pills while you drink.
I think even if you're not drinking, it's not a good idea when someone goes, you want a bunch of pills? Yeah.
I know.
But, yeah, combining the two.
This guy was a decent guy. He was a bouncer. No. But, so I said, yeah, so these pills, they just make you like 100 times drunker. So then oh, man, I'm really drunk. And then, like, time passed, but I don't remember. And then my friends were like, hey, let's go. I'm like, why don't you guys go? Where are you going to, why go? Right? Like, we're in a bar drinking, right? And, like, it doesn't seem right that you don't want to go home, and watch I Love Lucy or something. So you're like, hey, I just stay here. I'll make new friends, right? So I was, like, real drunk, and everybody was, like, cool. It was like a Western. It had a jukebox, one of those. Guy gives you a whole bottle there, and you go, and then...
That's what you do when you're drinking, you a pirate, all of a sudden?
And then it was the funnest, man. There was a big fat bearded guy there, and I was hanging with him, real drunk. All of a sudden, right, I'm like, oh, man, I can't remember anything. I remember, like, I sort of fallen into a pool table or something like that.
Right.
And then I wake up, right, and it's like I'm in a bed. I look beside, there's the fat bearded guy beside me.
No, really?
Yeah. So I go, oh, Lord God, I had sex with the fat bearded guy, And at the time, like, I'd never had sex before in my life.
Yeah.
And I always thought, it's probably going to be with a lady. You know what I mean? So then I looked over, and the weird thing was, instead of us being in the same bed, he's in a separate bed, right? Like, we have 2 separate beds.
It's like twin beds.
Twin beds. So then I'm like, wait a minute, now this is weird, because... why would we be in separate beds? Is he like an old-fashioned gay guy, And then, right? But
he has the good values, yeah.
So
we're not married yet.
There's no such thing, of course, as an old-fashioned gay guy. They're the most decadent people. So I said, what? With sex, they enjoy sex like crazy,
We mustn't generalize.
No, we mustn't generalize.
No, but go ahead.
Seriously, if there was a bathhouse for straight guys, we wouldn't be able to have sex 9, 10 times a night anyway. So anyways, that I'm with. They love sex. It's a good thing. But I'm beside the fat bearded guy. I go, holy Lord. Anyways, it turns out, not a gay man at all. Turns out this guy, when I blacked out, had checked me into a rehab.
No.
Yeah.
And she's in there with you?
Yeah. So I got robes and a slipper, and they wouldn't give me my clothes back, and I had to stay in there for 3 days. And they're like, you're an alcoholic. I go, no, I'm not. And then apparently that's what alcoholics say too, you know. So then, for 3 days, I had to stay there. I had to go to AA meetings, and I'd only been drunk like 9 times. Huh? So they're like, "What's your worst one?" I go, "I guess the 9th one was bad, you know."
Right.
That was, and when did you hit bottom? I said, I don't know. The cool part of it was the girls all get up, right, and all their stories are all the same. Whenever they hit bottom,
right.
Every story is the same. They're like, "Oh, when I hit bottom, you know, I a guy for a drink," you know. And you're like, oh. You know, every time. Yeah.
Guy goes, you got the do-rag? He goes, you know, I'm fucking my woman, you know, and I don't want to answer the phone. Oh, shit, it could be a job, and you know. And then, you know, after you take the do-rag, you wipe off your dick with the do-rag. And I'm like, no, I don't do that. But everyone in the audience is like, yeah, we all do that. We all wipe our dicks off.
Hey, WNBA, I got an idea that'll sell some tickets. Shirts and skins. Look, Taylor, I don't think you understand. You're a huge whore. Last night, the epic disaster film Twister opened to big box office and some controversy. The Reverend Jesse Jackson has called for a boycott of the movie, claiming that not enough black people in the film are killed by tornadoes. So at the end of the election, you know, it was trouble for both candidates because they had the undecideds like me didn't know. And so they were trying their hardest to get us to know, but, you know, we were all dumb. We didn't know. And then they decided to go with commercials where they just have some animals in them, you know? Like I remember one, it was a bunch of wolves, you know, and then the narrator, he goes, hey, do you want a bunch of wolves to eat you? You're like, damn, no, that's a bad... That's the last thing I want. And then the other character, he came out with his own, because the wolf thing was working good. And so his was, he goes, would you rather be a ostrich or a eagle? And you're like, that's a tough one there. And the guy's like, you'd rather be an eagle, you retard? I would, yes, because then the wolf can't jump up as high enough to catch you. So you're like, all right. I'll tell you what I do like in the news, the big murder trials, you know, because I can follow that, you know. And now we have the greatest one that's coming up, you know, because it's the best when celebrities are up for murder, because then you know the guy, you know. And so, right? So they selected the jurors for the Robert Blake trial, so that will move on, and I'm happy about that, because I love Robert Blake. Ever since I was a kid, watched him. Beretta, my favorite show. God damn, that was a good show. I will say one thing about Robert Blake. The guy appears to have not the greatest alibi I have ever heard. Seems to be a relatively weak alibi to me. You know, and I'm no jurisprudence, you know, I don't know. But this is his alibi as far as I can figure it out. He goes, it couldn't have been me who shot my wife in the secluded area over by the side of the ditch. On account, I have an alibi. Oh, where were you? I had to go back to the restaurant. I forgot my gun. Then I got my gun. I went back to where my wife is, and goddamn, somebody shot her. Now, so I don't know what alibis he discarded before he decided to go with that one, but...
Is this a really good question, Norm? Here's a familiar face for you,
it's a
Blake.
question from Blake's good friend, Norm. No, Blake, it's fun watching you this year. Wasn't it cool?
Yeah. Thank you.
And I was wondering, like, there's a kind of a curse with Rookie of the Year. Nobody's ever repeated it.
I didn't think about that. Well, I'll try as hard as I can next year, but
All right, man.
I don't know. I don't know. Thank you for that question, though. That's going on top of the goals for next year.
The parents of Honey Boo Boo are getting married this week. I don't know what any of that means, but it sounds fucking retarded.
So, Jenny, what month was your
Stop
issue?
quoting Churchill.
May of 08. Who was on the cover? Do you remember?
It was a Russian girl. And my nickname's Genocide, so I think that was kind of funny.
What?
What?
What do you mean? Is Genocide giving her comedy fucking advice?
Why is that? It's funny because there was a genocide.
In Russia? Only about 70 years ago.
Against the Russian people.
Who still live? But me. That's not a
You
genocide.
first.
Huh?
Check it back. No, it was
it
wasn't a complete genocide.
What do you mean?
No, it was.
Well, Stalin was a mass murderer.
Only Jewish people seem to get really offended by my nickname.
There are fives in a case.
Dave's getting bored.
Right,
Well,
because they're the only ones that live.
well, the only
through
true
a
genocide was the. Well, I don't want to say. Another
What about
one
the
this way,
American
Sam.
Indians? That was a true genocide.
Wow. What?
The American Indians was a true genocide.
No, that was for land. No, that was justified. That was for land. We were taking their property. No,
It doesn't matter. What does it matter what the motive
No,
is?
the genocide. Yeah, the motive is to just hatred of a race to exterminate them without a political or economic
justifiable
agenda.
Well, we did with the
Indians. Well, it's not justifiable.
No, well, who's saying it's justified?
I said it's well. Just we got to bury them.
I'm just wondering how it's justified.
You've never heard the legal term justifiable genocide? Hitler was out of his mind at the time. Clearly insane.
I'm trying to take another opinion so we can have some friction here. It's a television show, honey. I can't agree with everything you
This guy fancies
say.
himself a modern-day Bill Maher.
Thank you for the dumb opinion.
You know, before I did the show, I never realized how much work it took to put on a production like this. Check it out. They spent 2 months building all these incredible sets. They had to coordinate 14 live music acts. And most impressive of all, they had to find a seat filler for Jennifer Lopez. She's got a... What the fuck was that? Now, maybe you guys are right. Maybe she doesn't have a gigantic ass. I stand corrected. Well, just backstage, a lot of celebrities back there. Man, I was talking to Jerry Jones, you know, the Cowboys owner, and he's disappointed, obviously. Yeah. Well, he's a good guy, though, man. He's talking about rebuilding the team, you know. And he told me, he says, we have to get back to what made us a championship team. Strippers and crack. And of course, there are some important Washington figures who couldn't be here tonight. Vice President Al Gore is not here. Unfortunately, he broke down and they had to leave him in the shop overnight. But they say he'll be all right later. Something wrong with the voice box or something. I don't know what it was. House Speaker Newt Gingrich is not here. A little while back, of course, everybody knows that Newt pushed through a lot of budget cuts in the arts, particularly in PBS, you know, and the effects are being felt now. I can see it, even as a layman, you know, just watching. You know, the other day I watched that show, the Frugal Gourmet. It changed its name to the Cheap Bastard. I mean, it's crazy.
And Senator Ted Kennedy couldn't be here. You know, there's a lot of jokes about Ted Kennedy, but I recently watched an interview. It was very touching. You know, Ted was talking about, or Mr. Kennedy. What the hell am I calling him Ted for? Senator Kennedy was talking about how he proposed to his lovely wife Vicki Reggie, and it was very touching. You know, it was a different side of Ted Kennedy that you don't see. He was very old-fashioned and romantic. You know, when he made the proposal, it was very nice. He got up on one knee and he. It was nice, you know.
We're joined by the talented trio called the Lonely Island.
Yeah,
who
you
will
know
be
what I
on the
call
big.
them?
What do you call them?
I call them Sandberg and the other couple of fellas.
The Mind Squad
The
is
other
how Rolling Stone put it.
The other two, Akiva and Yorma. Thank you guys for joining us. Andy.
Thanks for knowing our names.
Yeah, no, I read the card. You guys ever been to a thing like this? No. What do you think?
Nothing like this.
It feels so pro and real. Am I on TV? Am I on the internet?
We don't know.
Oh, you're on the computer.
You're on a velvet couch. You're on a maroon velvet couch in the beating hot sun.
Hey, can I ask a
And
serious
beautiful.
question? I mean, fuck all these jokes. like when you name yourselves, right?
Yeah.
Do you ever have fucking moments of regret later because it's permanent, almost like a tattoo?
Absolutely. Yeah, the Lonely Island, I was outvoted.
Oh, you were?
Yeah.
What were the other runner-up names?
Our first album was called Incredibad, and I wanted that to be the name of the band. But
We would have had regrets about that too, though.
Probably.
Let's be honest.
There's no winning when you're a comedy troupe.
Does that happen a lot?
It all
Yeah,
sucks.
You're a troop.
Who comes up with the ideas, or do you guys fight a lot over ideas, or how does that work?
It's a democratic process.
Yeah.
Two out of three always
Two out
wins.
of three
Yeah.
wins. Yeah.
Who's always getting left out?
Someone's always mad. It's whoever's not
Yeah.
in town.
Got it.
How do you guys feel in your bodies? Do you feel healthy and strong?
Absolutely not.
I could be eating better.
Yeah.
Yeah, digestion could be going better.
Yeah. I feel like that about
Hey,
myself.
enough of these fucking jokes. Can I ask one more serious question?
Hit me with a real one, Norm.
Real one.
Sandberg, when you went to SNL,
Yeah.
you went different than anybody else because you were already a fucking big hit, right?
I don't think so. Is that true?
We were definitely not a big hit. No.
Oh, Saturday Night Live made you guys a big hit?
Yeah, I mean, we had a small internet following.
Oh, so the computer doesn't really work to make you a big hit?
I mean, that was like 17 years ago, right? How long ago was that? It was a while ago. It's changed now.
Yeah, yeah. So when you started Incredibad,
/ The Lonely Island.
yeah, The Lonely Island, what's the significance of that name, though? That's what really I wanted to ask. The Lonely Island. You think of all islands as kind of lonely.
Do you really want to hear the story?
Yes,
I do,
please.
I do
I do a
too.
real short version, which is just basically was what we called the apartment we lived on Olympic with all the traffic. It was a sarcastic name from a sarcastic Tennessee Williams style sketch we did about the apartment.
Akiva wrote a one-act play.
God damn, I wish I had a time machine.
To see that action.
Yeah, no, to take back my question.
Thought you were going to say to murder Hitler.
I would not. You know, people always fucking want to murder Hitler with their time machine, right? But then I feel if I got back there, I'd be afraid of falling under the spell of his fucking beautiful eyes.
It's true.
And oratory, and
he
then
locked in the gaze.
yeah, and then I join the fucking party,
That's
knowing
his
me.
thing. He gives you his full attention. You're like, whoa,
All
wait
right.
a minute. Maybe there's
Norm,
something to
I'm
this guy.
Norman, before you ask another serious
Believe
question,
it or
we
not,
gotta
they're
move
telling
on.
us to wrap it up. I don't exactly
I
know
want to.
why you guys.
Wrap it what?
Perfect.
This is fun for everyone.
It's the
For the
Lonely
record,
Island, guys.
I would have killed Hitler. So thanks, gentlemen.
Can I just clarify? if I did go back in time to kill Hitler, I would do it.
Yeah, yeah.
I wouldn't get
That's
lost
the-
in
that's
his
the front
eyes
door
and then
choice.
bail.
Yeah.
Just so
Well,
I
thanks
don't get
for-
like
thanks for
hit
having
from
us.
all the like
I know, all the-
defamation
Yeah,
leads.
no,
Yeah.
He would,
of,
you would end it. Yeah.
pro.
Listen,
Okay.
man, I'm sorry
Killing
about
We got to wrap it up.
I'm sorry
It's
about
over.
bringing up Hitler.
You really brought this live show to a new
This is
level.
the first one, right? This is your first interview?
This is the first time I've ever interviewed a
Just
man.
sign
If you can bring
things to
Hitler
come.
into all of them, they're going to ask you back for sure, which is I know what you want.
That's what we're all hoping for.
Okay, tell him to go now.
Or you could just be
Hey, I love you guys, man. Rock tonight. Jonathan Schmitz, the Jenny Jones guest who killed his secret gay admirer because of his fear and hatred of homosexuality, has been sentenced to 25 years in prison. Well, I guess that plan backfired, huh? And you know, as an actor, it's hard, I've heard. But I had a TV show once, Norm. I played Norm.
That was the one time I was not funny. No, it was a fine show. But we had a great actor on it, and his name was Jack Warden. You remember Jack Warden?
Of course I remember Jack
My
Warden.
God.
Yeah, great actor.
You remember them?
They have a picture of Jack.
They have a picture of Jack Warden. There he is. You guys remember Jack Warden?
Likeable. A Broadway star, too.
He was. He was on Broadway. He told me he was in the Man in the Glass booth where he had to go an hour and a half, one single monologue. Now, I have him on my show, the Norm Show. I played Norm. And his memory's gone, and he didn't like it, you know, and it frustrated him. And I remember I was in the scene with him, so I had to remember all my lines just in case he got his right. So it was really hard on me as well.
Yeah, it could take a toll on you.
Yeah,
sure.
so I remember the first line he had, we're watching a hockey game. He's a tough old guy, playing a tough old guy. And he was like, his line was supposed to be, I'll tell you, Normie, hockey's no good anymore, not since they put in their helmets. That was the line, right? So he looks over at me and just blank eyes. So I know he don't got nothing. But he's trying to use his acting skills, you know, so he looks at me and goes, Normie, Normie, Normie. And you could see what he remembered through what he said. Like, because he said it at this exact moment. He'd go like, Normie, Normie, Normie. Hockey, Normie. Hockey, Normie. And we're in the set as a rink.
Oh, yeah.
Hockey, Normie. I'll tell you about hockey, Normie. I'll tell you, it's no good anymore, Normie. You know why it's no good anymore, Normie? I'll tell you right now. Normie, Normie, Normie. That was cut. Take two.
So then, anyways, Woody Harrelson's really cool, and fucking actors, man. When they're really good, it's like something different,
right?
You know, and because I'm just waiting for the other fucker to stop talking and hoping God I remember.
You're
my
not even
line.
paying attention.
No, I'm just hoping to remember my words. So, anyways, fucking what's his name? Woody Harrelson asked me if I want a beer. You know, he goes, "You want a beer?" I go, "No, it's cool. I don't drink. You know." He goes, "You don't want a beer?" I go, "No, I don't drink, but thanks, man." And then I go, "You drink? Like, I thought you just smoked weed and all that shit." And then all of a sudden, Milos Forman goes, "Cut! What the fuck is going on?" Like we were in the movie.
You didn't know.
No.
You thought he was talking to you.
Because he was looking at me and talking like a regular person. There was nothing fake about it.
You got caught up in the movie.
He was such a good actor.
You didn't they yell action? There was nothing to do.
No, he doesn't say that.
He doesn't do that.
And then later...
Did you ever meet the real Larry Flint?
Later,
oh, yeah.
Yeah, I met the real Larry Flint.
What was that like?
Oh, my God. He was at the fucking... It was this dinner where you talk in front of the president or some fucking thing where you're a comedian and the president's standing beside you.
Yeah.
So I was the president. I was the comedian.
Yeah.
And the president was president. Anyway, so whatever. Larry Flint is there, right? So he fucking meets me afterwards in the hallway, and he goes,
Because you don't understand
what the fuck? And I'm uncomfortable with anybody. Yeah, I get uncomfortable with people that have afflictions.
That's the one problem you have. You can't deal with afflictions.
I get nervous, and I look close to them, and then I hope they can't see the horror in my eyes.
I want to know how Larry Flint got that close to the president. Yeah, but go ahead.
He was like, because every year they have a kind of a joke guy, I guess. Or something.
Right.
So he's like, so I have to get close to him. I go, what? And he goes, when you're in L.A., you ever get to L.A.? So I go, yeah, I get to L.A. He goes, I'll take care of you.
Wow. Thank you.
Yeah, so then I was thinking in my head, like normally if a guy says, like, for instance, if my Uncle Basil said, hey, come to the Ottawa Valley, I'll take care of you, that'd mean he'd make you a nice mincemeat pie or something like that.
Right.
This, I had a feeling
he's going to fuck you.
He's probably, I think maybe he would have fucked me.
I'm going to put it in your ass there, Norm.
No, he's not.
I'm going to wrestle you and get on top.
He's the straightest guy in the world.
No, get in my lap. I'm going to have you ride around in my chair with me.
No, he's the straightest guy in the world. What I think it would mean is I'd be with some hot lady, and then all of a sudden he'd come in his wheelchair whacking off.
Listen to me.
Have you ever done anything in your long and storied career that you consider specifically to be in bad taste as you look back on it? Maybe at the time you thought it was a good play, but you look back on it and you think that was in bad taste.
Well, sometimes, like in stand-up, I'll do jokes that are like one time I was doing this thing in San Francisco, and they were all gay people in the audience. They told me, so I figured I'll do.
In San Francisco?
Yeah.
No.
So I figured I'd do stuff about gay people so that they could relate to it.
Yeah, it's warm up. They love that.
And so I was talking about, because I went to this gay pride parade, and I saw in it there were these old men and old ladies like with these signs that said, "We are proud of our gay son," you know? And so I was saying, that's an odd thing to be proud of, you know, because it's not an achievement, you know? It's not like something you work all your life to be gay or anything like that. And I just wondered, I had a hard time believing that these 50, 60-year-old men are actually bragging, you know, at work like they're, "Hey, Bill, you know, my kid, oh my God, we're proud of him, Johnny. He graduated from Harvard, you know, first in his class, you know what I mean? Now he's articling over at a law firm, and, oh yeah, he loves cock." You know? This kid. He can't get enough cock in his mouth, his ass, his kid's always cock. I got a picture of the boy here sucking another man's cock. I want to show it to you.
To watch the maturation of you as an artist, to realize it took you 9.5 minutes to get around to the sucking cock stuff. It's beautiful to see you comfortable in your own skin, Normie.
Yeah, quite a year in music, though. Let's look back. A lot of classic songs have been covered this year, haven't they? Lenny Kravitz did "American Woman." Dwight Yoakam did "Crazy Little Thing Called Love." And Barry Manilow released an album entitled Manilow Sings Sinatra. And I'll tell you, it is a great CD, or as I like to call it, it is a great coaster. I like to throw my drinks on that. It's not a good CD at all. And
oh, I have an announcement to read. I almost forgot. I was told to make this announcement. Table 10, wherever you are, table 10. We're sorry your waitress hasn't been there in a while. Larry King just married her. So. I have to say, though, you know, this is an incredible thing for me. You know, I'm just a punk, you know, and yet here I am, you know, I can't believe I'm speaking in a room. I'm standing in a room here with the most powerful man in the country, Alan Greenspan, you know, and it's a little amazing to me. It's a little, you know. Of course, that's the big story in here in Washington is the recent marriage between NBC's Andrea Mitchell and Alan Greenspan, who is 71 years old. And this is sweet, you know, I didn't know this. They wrote their own vows, you know. She promised to love, honor, and speak into his good ear. So that was it's kind of sweet, you know.
oh, we're back. I just have a word that all the stars are out. Rhett McLaughlin and Charles Lincoln Neal just were spotted. All the stars. It was good to see those workaholic guys because I personally am a workaholic. For many years, I was helplessly addicted to workahol. The Roastmaster General, Jeff Ross, joins us.
Hi,
Yes.
Jeff.
Welcome.
Hi, everybody.
Oh, you got the first
Hello, world.
applause. Yeah.
Norm, this is so fun. Thank
Yeah,
you for having
man.
me on your live podcast.
It's always fun to see you without a giant cloud of marijuana smoke between us.
Well, it's outdoors. It drifted away.
Yeah, how you doing, buddy? You got your hair cut a little.
I had a little trim. I was at the doggy groomer for 2 hours today.
I have a question, Jeff. You usually show up wearing something very exotic.
Yeah.
Why the denim today?
I dressed like Billy Jack.
Yeah.
You look
You look
sharp.
great.
I
Thank you,
like
Jenny.
it.
I appreciate it.
Yeah.
We're trying to up my game for the live YouTube show.
Yeah.
Oh, man, you're a hot fucking piece of ass.
Look at that. I do all my shopping at the mall. Have you ever been to Forever 41?
Forever 41.
Norm, you're
Listen.
dressing like you're going to help somebody move. You're wearing sweatpants to the biggest show in YouTube history.
This is the biggest show on the internet.
You dress like you're going to paint the set.
He can't help himself. I gotta ask you this though. Hey, I saw, by the way, on the computer, a show you do now called Morning Roast. Unbelievable. You wake up in the morning, you turn on your computer, there's Jeff Ross waking up himself, roasting somebody. How's that work?
Well, whatever comes to my hungover head, I just start making fun of, and I put it up on my YouTube page.
God damn, it's funny.
Who should I roast this week?
What about Cassim?
Yeah, it would be an honor if you could just do me.
He's an Arab, if that helps.
I only roast celebrities, Cassim, so you're off the hook. Thank you.
Orange is the new black. But not in my apartment building. Kevin is the new black.
Today is the 11th birthday of President Obama's youngest daughter, Sasha, or as I like to call her, the uppity one.
Oh, goodness gracious.
Yeah.
Jesus.
I'm a regular mortal.
I really appreciate you coming on here tonight. I don't know if you've heard, but I'm not going to be around much longer.
Yes, I
leaving
know.
the
And
show.
I understand there's only 12 shows left, and this may be my last appearance.
Well, I hope not, but...
So I was going to ask for a souvenir.
You know, you're the first person to bring this up, and I'm touched. And I want to say to you, Norm, as a friend and as somebody I have admired your entire career, whatever you want is yours. Except, Todd, you're not giving up the sweatshirt, are you? Anything you want.
Okay, excellent. Well, maybe, I know.
What? No, wait a minute. That's, Norm, those are expensive. Can you... Be careful. Oh, my God. Norm, look out. It's fine. That's fine. It's still under warranty. Okay, we'll be right back with Norm MacDonald.
I'll tell you what, this is what happened to me with the psychiatrist once. I think this is why I don't do it anymore.
You did go to a psychiatrist.
When I was a young man, I
Yes.
was like 17 or trouble kid, and they sent me to a psychiatrist.
Right.
And I talked to the guy, and I talked to him twice, right?
Right.
Next week, he fucking commits suicide.
Is that true?
So it's in the paper that I'm reading about. The guy's the worst fucking life ever. Like coke and again, you know. I mean, I shouldn't say the worst, but you know, just the worst fucking life. And I felt so bad because here I am yammering to him on his last week of life about, my God, my mother. You know, so.
You did MTV Beach House recently, and you know, there's a certain kind of person you expect to show up on the MTV Beach House, and I hear, we'll be right back with MTV Beach House, our special guest, Norm MacDonald. I'm like, what the hell are you doing?
It's this.
What was that?
It's this show on MTV, right?
I know.
And it's at a beach.
It's at a beach.
And they don't script anything. Like, you know, they do like for anyway. So the dude, the host, was like, hey Norm, do you mind wearing a pair of trunks? You know, bathing trunks? And I go, no, I don't want to wear that. You know, because I'm like, my body's like all weird looking and everything. And everybody else is super hot ladies and super hot men. You know, I don't, you know, whatever.
Whatever you... Wow.
So,
got an issue about that. All right, go ahead.
So I'm on the show, right? So they're saying, hey, come on, seriously, put on the trunks. I'm like, no, man, I don't want to. So then they think this will be funny. They go, hey, we're going to show you a fashion show. Some dudes will come out, you know, and show you, you see what you think. I go, what? So all of a sudden, these three dudes come out, right, dancing around in their thongs and shorts and everything.
They're wearing thongs or shorts? Which one?
Bathing trunks, but some of them are like thongs where you can see their dirty arses. So, so I'm like watching it, you know, and I'm like, oh,
it's like
man.
Chaucer. Yeah, go ahead.
So I'm like, oh. I guess it is.
Okay, go
Old
ahead.
English. So I said, you know, oh, yeah, no, I'm pretending to go, oh, yeah, that's funny, right? And,
you do a lot of that at MTV, yeah.
So then the guy, the host, he goes to this one guy who was very, very, very gay. He goes,
what? How do you know that?
no, I mean,
You had a
know,
sign?
Yeah, he looked very, very gay. He says to this dude, he says, hey, I'll give you $20 if you lap dance on Norm. You know what I mean?
Right.
All of a sudden, this dude like, hey, $20. I guess he didn't have much money. Starts running towards me, right? So I look up, here's this nude, almost nude dude running towards me, right? So I think in my head, okay, man, pretty soon the guy's gonna be writhing around on my lap with his ass, you know? And I don't want that on TV, you know, forever.
No, it's okay to talk about it, but you don't want to see it.
Right. They videotape that and it's there forever. So meanwhile, what can I do? You know, you can't hit a guy because it looks bad. You know what I mean? You know? Even though, of course, a woman could hit a naked guy running at him.
Sure, that's
fine.
okay.
But a man can't hit him.
Yeah.
So I have to think fast. It's only a second. So I bolt. I take off, right?
You started running, too?
Yeah, running down the beach.
The guy catch you or no?
Yeah, and then I had to come back on. They're like, oh, Mr. Homophobic. I won't let a guy grind his ass into you.